Hey, I'm Sean Favor, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about plantar fasciitis. Just realized the other day it has two I's. It's not fasciitis, it's fasciitis. Big distinction. So lots of people have symptoms of plantar fasciitis. Stiffness of the foot, inability to wiggle the toes. Like, I feel like those are all related. Your foot has many layers of connective tissue, which you can think of like durable tissue that kind of holds you together. So many layers of fascia. It's very heavy on tendons. When you're wearing thick shoes all the time, your feet aren't flexing and moving a lot with your movement. They're not utilizing their sensory ability. Your feet have just as many nerve endings as your hand, but when you wear shoes all the time, they get down regulated because they're not getting stimulated. Your body feels like they're not as important because they're not as stimulated. They down regulate, they become stiff. It starts to hurt to do lunges or intense foot movements, possibly jumping, and then it just progresses from there until plantar fasciitis can become a debilitating issue where, like, it's very hard to walk, you don't want to move, and it can be very disheartening and depressing because when you reach a point where you can't walk because your feet hurt, it feels like, there's not a lot that you can do to get better. But there are a number of things you can do to prevent and treat plantar fasciitis. Number one is going to be to use and move your feet and toes on a regular basis. Wiggle your toes, turn your feet around in circles, do the exercise video that I'm going to do for plantar fasciitis, posting around the same time as this. Roll your feet on the cross balls, roll your feet on frozen water bottles. So for me, when I get plantar fasciitis type stuff, there's a particular couple of muscles in my calf that will become very stiff, and they stiffen the tendon through my foot, causes me pain, becomes less flexible, and then I roll it out, take care of it, make sure I stretch my legs properly, manage my posture, and it goes away pretty quickly. If it's really bad, or if you just like it, you can use a frozen water bottle. And so the coldness is going to feel good on your foot. It'll also feel extremely cold. And you can just use it just like any other massage device. You can press into it, putting stress and tension on that connective tissue over a period of time, longer than a minute, is going to help stretch that out. Part of the pain from plantar fasciitis is that every time you're stressing that, it's so tight that it's tearing. And so one of the things you're doing when you're trying to fix it is you're still tearing it. You're just tearing it in a more purposeful way. That's probably a little more gradual and a little more comfortable. So you could do this like at the beginning of the day when you get out of bed. You could keep one at work, do it by your desk. You do it before a workout. Another thing to think about is spending more time barefoot, trying to find a time to walk around your yard or somewhere with varying textures to stimulate your feet, upregulate the systems related to your feet. You can spend, around 2 minutes on a really good spot, or just move it around real slow, put tension on all sorts of different parts of your feet. If you're feeling a sharp pain, obviously, stop pursuing that spot. Another thing you can do sitting or standing or leaning against a wall is massaging your feet with a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. Pretty much the same thing as the frozen water bottle, except it's not a frozen water bottle. Same concept. You could also use, any other type of spherical, cylindrical object. If you're feeling really hardcore, you could use like a PVC pipe. And you're just looking for those spots that feel extra tense. Like when I get this spot right here, I feel tension through the top of my foot, and I feel tension traveling out to one of my adjacent toes. So I know that this is an area that's limiting, a number of other areas of my foot. So I'm going to focus on it for a couple minutes. And you can just work your way through different parts of your foot over the course of days and help loosen those tissues up, mobilize those joints. You have over 25 joints in your feet, and when they become stiff, then the tissues that are holding onto them are going to hurt when you're coming up against that lack of mobility. And plantar fasciitis is just a big progression of that same down regulation of the foot, and people can experience it all sorts of different ways. I feel like categorizing it to a particular intensity or a particular aspect is like kind of wrong, because so many people are having this in one way or another, in a small form or a great form. More and more people every day are using functional shoes that are wide and flat. I've been using them for 6 years. I really like Zero, Xero. So today consider bringing something round, rollable, to your desk and rolling your feet on it for work. If you have plantar fasciitis, now you know some ways to take care of it, and check out the accompanying video of exercises related to managing the tension of your lower body system, hips, calves, and especially your feet for plantar fasciitis. Thanks for watching.